Alright, I'm going to break down some of the things I think about on a bar muscle up. You know, I've been getting some questions lately, helping some people out. So, these are just a few things that I personally like to think about, whether they're right or they're wrong. They help me get up on the bar. So, I'm going to be on the left here. This is the first time I've used this Coach's Eye app, so just kind of bear with me. So, as I've told some people before, as I'm walking up to the bar, I carry a little bit of momentum from walking into it. As I'm jumping up to the bar, I'm trying to grab onto the bar when I'm as far away from the bar as I can possibly be. I'm thinking about catching myself in that hollow body position, so abs are staying tight, my lats are engaged throughout the entire movement. I'm thinking about actually, when I jump up to it, I want my feet as close to even with that pull-up bar, but not in front of it at all. As I grab onto it, my momentum from behind is going to carry me moving underneath the bar. I'm going to move myself into that reverse C position at the back part of the movement when I'm underneath. So at this position, I'm thinking about trying to create that big whip basically in my spine, necessarily to create that big kip as I'm moving up. Once I come through, because my momentum's carrying me underneath, it's going to almost feel like I'm going to throw myself off the pull-up bar behind, but because I'm holding on to the pull-up bar, it's going to eventually send me upward. So as I'm coming through, I'm thinking about getting my hips up as high to the bar as I can possibly get myself. As you can see, at this point, I'm basically fully laid out. My arms are still fully extended. The closer I can actually get my hips to that pull-up bar at this position, the better off I'm going to be. So there's some other people in our gym that are even a little bit better at this than me. One of them being Aaron. If you watch him, his hips basically actually touch the pull-up bar before he ever bends his arms at all, which the higher you can get your hips, the better position you're going to be in. So the only rule in CrossFit is that your feet don't reach above this horizontal plane of the pull-up bar. So I'm good there. As I'm coming up, that's the point where I'm actually popping my hips. At that point, once I pop my hips, get my hips almost to the bar, then it's a small pull and a turnover at that position. So those are basically the pointers that I'm thinking about as I'm doing the movement. The second one should be a little bit easier than the first, but I'm thinking about basically the same body positions. As I'm coming down from the pull-up bar, I'm getting myself lined up. I'm trying to get my upper body basically away from the pull-up bar, just like I did at the beginning. My feet, I want to be just under the pull-up bar, as I'll show in a second. If you get your feet too far in front, you're going to basically turn it into a big kipping pull-up, and you either need to be strong enough to throw yourself over the bar, or you're just going to run yourself into it really hard. So when I come down, that momentum, get myself back into that hollow body position, abs are nice and tight, lats are engaged, everything's tight here. That momentum's carrying me down. Once again, it's going to throw me underneath. I'm going back into that big reverse C position underneath. It's going to carry my momentum, wanting to actually shoot me back in this position. It's going to feel like I'm throwing myself off the bar again. So, like I'm saying, my momentum feels like it wants to shoot me back in that position, but it's having confidence of holding on to that bar as I kip. Actually get my hips up a little bit higher that time, and I turn over. So those are just kind of the few pointers that I actually think about when I'm doing the bar muscle ups. So I'll kind of rewind it back for you guys so you guys can look at it without all the lines on it and talk about what Jamie actually does a little bit here. So if you can watch Jamie on the right, actually, sorry Jamie, but it's the only video I had on here kind of showing a little bit difference. So as she gets to the bar, she's basically dead underneath it like you would do for a normal kipping pull-up, which is perfectly fine, except now you'll see how it kind of puts her in a bad position. So she gets up there, she's got to create that momentum because she didn't walk into it. Her feet become way in front of the bar. She comes underneath, she does a big kip, but her momentum at this point is not wanting to shoot her. As you'll see, it's going to eventually want to basically just shoot her straight up. So she's got to do the work. There we go. Do the work to get herself up and around that pull-up bar versus having her body weight do a lot of the work for her to get up and around the bar. She's strong enough to get away with it, and she gets through workouts well, but she could be quite a bit more efficient if she practiced it a little bit of getting herself in that position. So Once again, as she's coming down from the pull-up bar, she's not quite as far behind. Her feet are way in front of the bar, which you'll see once again puts her into that position where her momentum isn't carrying her underneath the bar. And to be honest, it kind of feels like, for me, when I'm doing this, it feels like my momentum right here is going to basically carry me underneath this and shoot me back out. That's the feeling that I get when my hips are moving through the movement. So you'll see her here coming up, her momentum. She's got to do a big kip. She kips, and then she's got to pull and try and get herself over that bar. She's trying to make up for a lot of her weight not actually helping her here. But she still goes up on top of the bar. So let's try rewinding both of these and playing them so you can kind of see side by side. So let's see what this looks like. So both ways will get you up on top of the bar, but I know what I'm doing. I'm working a lot. I'm nowhere near as hard as she is to get up there. Well, sorry for all the little mishaps with the app, but hopefully that does a little bit of a job explaining what I'm trying to talk about whenever people ask me about it. So, there you go.